Today we're going to be talking about money, and I feel like it makes everyone really awkward. Ooh. So yes, today we're going to be talking about money, that fun topic. And I wanted to talk about this because I've actually got quite a few questions on my Instagram, which you should definitely go check out. I'll leave it below, about how I fund my PhD, how I manage my money. So I thought, let's put them in a video, because then I can just direct people to this video. No jokes, I'll still answer. And I'm going to talk you through today how I fund my unfunded PhD. And what I mean by unfunded is I don't have, so I'm at the University of Birmingham, I don't have like the M4C grant, I haven't got a college scholarship, so my money doesn't come from officially recognised institution that have said yes, we will support your PhD. That's what I mean by unfunded. It's quite common not to be unfunded. I know a lot of people who do it, especially in humanities. I think in sciences it's a lot more common to be funded. There are 4 main streams of income I have to support my PhD, and I'm going to talk you through all 4. So, number one, I have a part-time job at the university, and that is my student team job. So I am on the student team, I help them produce content, social media, we do open days, we do podcasts, blog posts, videos, kind of anything to show people what life is like as a student. I applied for this when I arrived. I'm the PhD one, so there's one PhD person, there's a master's person, and then there's loads of undergrads. And then there's year abroad people as well. And we basically all work together, produce content, and it's 5 hours a week, and I get paid £10.64 an hour. So it's not a lot of money, but that is one of my part-time jobs. My second part-time job, so my second stream of income, and I'm going to talk about these two together and then kind of roll them up into one, because it's basically, I have part-time jobs. So my second part-time job is a bit different. I've had this job for quite a few years now, and I am a salesperson for a company called Character Wines, which is a wine company, and basically I help them with trade shows, I meet with clients, I do emailing, I have a couple of clients that I work with, and I'm working to get new clients, trade shows, customer shows, basically the sales side of a wine import, export, distribution company. And that one is a lot more, it can be really intense and then it can go really dead. It just depends how sales are doing at that time. But I've had that one for loads of years, so I just kept that when I started the PhD. Now, the reason I like both the part-time jobs I've got, and I kind of deliberately chose them, and they're a bit different from, you know, working at Lidl or working at Cafe Nero or a bar job or something like that, which I have had before, is basically both these jobs let me set my own schedule. To an extent, they are completely flexible, apart from when I have trade shows, but they tend to fall on weekends. And as a PhD student, you do get weeks off. So for example, in May is the big London Wine Fair trade show. I will just take that week off from my PhD to do my job. That's why I pick them, because they're completely flexible. They don't demand me to be a certain place at a certain time. I can do them from home, I can do them from a cafe, I can do them from campus, I can do them from the moon if I wanted to, if I could get there. But you know what I'm saying, they're location independent, I set my own hours, especially for the Character Wines job one. I had to do 5 hours for the student team one, but the Character Wines job fluctuates like this. And that's why I picked them, because it was a way of making money without demanding I be a certain place at a certain time. That does mean that the income fluctuates because it depends how many hours I do that month. But those are my first 2 streams of income, which you could round up into one and say I have part-time jobs. So the second stream of income I have, which I think will be a bit unusual to a lot of people, is I actually have stocks and shares. And I've had these now for about 2-3 years. I got them when my nana died, so basically the money I inherited from her I invested into the stock market. And I was just letting it sit and bubble over, but then when I started the PhD, I realised I could take the interest off. And I realised a lot of people find stocks and shares really mysterious, but they're not that difficult. I invested it in Hargreaves Lansdown, I picked my funds. I think I have about 10 different funds with different pots of money in them, and some of them go up, some of them go down. At the moment they're all down because of the coronavirus and the knock-on effects it's having on the economy, so I'm not getting any money from that. I got a little bit of money from that this month, but I probably won't get any next month because they've all kind of dropped quite significantly. But what I do, and I think this is the important thing to remember, is I don't take the original money I invested into the fund back out. I take the interest I've made off that fund back out. So let's say I've got a fund, I believe, called Picket Clean Energy. It's something like that. I put X amount in, let's say I put 1,000 in, and over a 3-month period it made £250. So then the value is 1,250. I just take that 250. I don't take the original 1,000, and also if it's gone down or if it's only increased by a fiver, I don't take that. So I kind of have to wait until there is a significant amount built up in one of the funds I've invested in, and then I just take the interest I've made off it, and then I just wait for it to gain that interest over again. So that's how I do the stock market. Personally, I find it quite easy, but again, it's an unreliable source of income. Like now, when most of my stocks have crashed, I think 2 are still doing okay. But that is one way I supplement my income. And from the part-time jobs and the stock markets when they're doing decent, I get about £600, £700 a month, which is enough, I find, to live off comfortably. It isn't enough to pay things like my tuition, to have sort of a rainy day fund, to really have any sense of security, especially when I have a dip month like I've had this month, because I didn't get as much work from Cat Wines and the stock markets aren't doing that well, so I didn't get £600 this month, nowhere close, I wish I did. So that's why I have my 4th stream of income, and I think this one is probably the most, it's not really a stream of income, but I didn't know what else to call it. So I have the doctoral loan. I applied for that a month ago and I just got approved yesterday. So technically I actually haven't been having this before, but when I realised what was happening with the stock markets, I thought, okay, I need a bit of a base. And I applied for the doctoral loan. It was super easy, especially as I already had an account from my master's loans and probably my undergrad, to be fair, but I think my master's loans was the account stuff I remembered. And that has given me, I applied for the full loan, so that will give me £25,600 over a 3-year period, because that's how long roughly they think it will take you to do a PhD. And I think each year you get a third of that. So it's like 8,500 and something each year, roughly. So I'll get 8,500 and then I'm going to use that to kind of give me a safer base, and then that will give me quite a decent amount of money each month, to be honest. So for an unfunded PhD, I don't think it's too bad. I realise some people won't want to take out a doctoral loan. I hesitated for a little while because I was like, I've already got undergrad loans, I've already got master's loans, do I really want to take on another loan, like another load of debt? But the thing you have to remember is the loans from student finance currently are a pretty good deal. They don't count against you for mortgages, they don't count against your credit rating, they will get paid off, I think, within 30 years when you take out the loan. So obviously for me that's all different times now. The doctoral loan stacks onto the master loan. This was the key thing for me. So I would have to completely pay off my master's loan before I had to start paying off the doctoral loan. So it's not like I'm going to get a job, hit that 21,000 bracket where you have to start paying it back, and then be hit with like a 20-30% or whatever money being taken from my account by student finance. It will be more than it will be for people who just have an undergrad loan, because I have an undergrad and a postgrad loan, but it won't be 3 sets of loans, it will just be 2. So that's why I did it in the end, because actually the situation wouldn't have changed from when I had my master's loan. To be honest, it's there to help us, we may as well take it. And like I said, it gets written off within 30 years if we haven't paid it back. So at that time I will be 56. I think if I haven't paid it back by 56 and it's written off, I'm not losing anything. So that's why I did it. I thought it was a pretty good deal in the end, and it just gives me a bit of stability. It takes the pressure off, takes the worry off, and it means that I am not as living paycheck to paycheck, which is what I was doing before because I had no savings. So those are my 4 streams of income. I am looking to get others because I do believe in the 7 stream of income philosophy that a lot of finance people on YouTube talk about, and the whole passive income thing, but I haven't got there yet. I hope this has helped people understand how you can fund an unfunded PhD and the different ways you can go about kind of getting money. I realise for everybody the stock market thing won't be an option, but if you do have a bulk of money that you've inherited like I did, or maybe you saved up because you worked beforehand, I would seriously suggest investing in the stock market, especially now actually, because everything's going to be really cheap, and then when it goes back up you'll be doing great, unlike me who bought arguably when it would have been higher and now have to wait for the dip to rise back up again, but that's another thing. So yeah, this is just a quick video this week. I hope you enjoy it and I will see you next week. Bye!